So we're going to walk you through how to add a media console to your world to show video and music, live or pre-recorded. So make sure you're in your world. You need to have the world editor active, which means that you need to be the terraformer and moderator of that world. If you created the world yourself, then this should be here. Go ahead and click on World Editor. And then we want SDK Apps right here. And then we want this one, the Multimedia Console. So go ahead and click on that. And there's a big white box. That's because we are in edit mode. So we'll turn off edit mode. Close this window. Now we back up a little bit. Are you the media player owner? Yes, I am. So go ahead and hit yes. And now it is asking you for the JSON string for your media player configuration. This will differ depending on if you're using YouTube or DLive or Twitch or a self-hosted video file. Let's show you how to add a YouTube URL for a static YouTube video, not a YouTube live video. We'll handle that later. For a static YouTube video, we start again at the altvr.com/create-media-list tool. Go ahead and hit enter, and it'll redirect you to this GitHub URL, which is perfectly fine. The first thing we need to do is add the video. So there's no items there now, so click on item, plus item. It defaults to image, so we want to change that to video. Needs the video URL, so let's go over to YouTube and grab that. Here's a video URL. Now you have to be careful with YouTube URLs. Some of them aren't allowed to be shared outside of YouTube. And so they won't work, and you'll get an error message in the media console. Make sure you're using something that can be streamed outside of YouTube. So paste that URL in. These 4 fields are all optional. I tend to leave them blank. And if you're on a quest, I suggest clearing out the end of video action by clicking on it and selecting the empty one, as well as loop media list. You can leave them if you're on a PC, because copying and pasting a large string is not a big problem, but on a quest it's a lot easier to type this in if it's small, the smaller it is. So go ahead and click on output, and now you have your URL in the JSON format. So copy that, and then we'll go over to Altspace and we will paste it into their JSON. Okay, so now we're pasting in our YouTube URL for the static YouTube into the JSON field. Go ahead and paste that and hit OK. And then you just have to find where that video went. There it is. So when you paste it in, it's empty, and so you have to hit play. And there you go, the video's in. And when other users join, it should all stay in sync between different users.